Let me give everybody the details on the debate really quickly, just so we know we have it right, because we need y'all to be well informed. The topic is who mastered the art of adaptation better, Kobe or LeBron?
Peace and blessings. Welcome to GOAT James Kingdom. Thank you for joining me as we will show you my debut debate on FYF Debate Sports. Herm is one of the top debaters on FYF Sports Debate. He challenged me to a Kobe Bryant and a LeBron James debate. The great aspect about going on FYF Sports Debate is that they choose the topic from ChatGTP. The topic that was selected was who mastered the art of adaptation better, LeBron James or Kobe Bryant. And there was more to the topic than that, because here was what was sent to both debaters regarding the actual debate. So if we read here, it says, who mastered the art of adaptation better? Kobe Bryant's evolution through his career versus LeBron James's ability to excel in various team dynamics. So this was a great topic, and which is why I chose to actually accept the debate, because both of us had two separate things that we had to discuss. For Herm, he had to discuss Kobe Bryant's evolution. How did Kobe Bryant's game change from his earlier years, straight out of high school, to becoming the face of the Lakers franchise? Discuss his ability to overcome injuries, evolve his playing style as he aged, and his mental adaptation to maintain competitiveness. LeBron James's team dynamics, which is what I was supposed to speak about. It continues to say LeBron's career is marked with his stint with the Cavaliers, Heat, and Lakers, each requiring him to adapt to a different team composition, coaching styles, and championship expectations. How has LeBron's game changed to fit these dynamics, and what does that say about his versatility and leadership? So this was the topic for this debate. With no further ado, y'all, here is FYF Sports Debate with Herm versus the Exposer.
Just to remind y'all of the rules, man, because I know Go James is new. We go 3 2-minute rounds. The clock will be on the screen. The lower ranked debater goes first in each round. So in this particular case, because you're unranked, Go James Kingdom, you're going to be going first in each round. So the last round is what we call the rebuttal round. It's just a round where it's used to rebut any points you heard in the first 2 rounds. But you can use it however you see fit, however you need to win the round. The only other option you have, Goat James Kingdom, and both of you guys get 1 per debate, it's a challenge flag. If you hear anything that's factually inaccurate, you can throw the challenge flag, and we can go to ChatGPT to fact check anything that might have gotten misquoted, whether it's a stat, whether it's a team, jersey number. You could be as petty as possible. All right, we got the clock right here. You guys know the topic. Who mastered the art of adaptation better, Kobe or LeBron? This should be a very interesting one, a ChatGPT topic right here. We're going to start this one off with Ajani of GOAT James Kingdom, the exposer, man. Can he expose Herm, man? Can he expose Herm? I don't know. We will be finding out right now. But hey, we got the clock on the screen, Johnny. Your first 2 minutes, your first round, it starts now, man. Go ahead and cook.
All right. Well, first off, this is a great debate because LeBron James's career is based off his adaptation to the league. And that's going to be the key to this whole debate, because LeBron James' ability to play so many facets on the basketball court started with him in high school. All right, when he was in high school, the eye test saw that he was like Magic Johnson. That's what they compared him to. But when they saw the stats, it looked like Michael Jordan, because he was averaging 30 points per game, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists as a senior while taking his team to the championship. And when he entered the NBA, he entered an NBA that was the lowest scoring NBA around that of all time, basically around that era. He also came in one of the slowest paces in NBA history. When he came into the league in 2004, it was a 90 possession pace game. 10 years prior to that, it was 95 possessions per game. They were scoring 101 points in 1994. They ended up scoring 93 and a half points in 2004. So when LeBron James entered the NBA, there was a lot of question marks about his playing ability because, for one, they didn't know what style of game that he really had. They saw his IQ, they saw his athletic ability, but they didn't know how that was going to translate to the NBA. So you had a kid coming into the NBA, and his first stint in Cleveland, he became a star. And then after he left Cleveland, he went to Miami, and then he ended up showing y'all his prime LeBron James. And through all of this, he adapted to the league because the league went from taking 15 three-pointers per game in 2004 to over 20 in 2014. And then his last stint with the Lakers, and we're gonna talk about LeBron James' second stint with Cleveland as well, but his last stint with the Lakers is his legendary stint where he had to adapt to a league that was taking over 35 three-pointers per game and had a way faster pace of 99 possessions per game and scoring 115 points per game. Through all of this, LeBron James was told that he had to go through so much to prove all his greatness from high school. And not only did he do that, he was able to adapt to the league while doing that.
All right, that's time. That is time right there. Or we're going to be taking it back over to Herm. Herm, you heard what he had to say, your first round. It starts now, man. Go ahead and cook.
Let's get it. I'm gonna give you guys a perspective that you guys probably never looked at when it comes to Kobe Bryant and how his career evolved. Think about this. Had 5 different stages of his career. Came into the league, had a struggling rookie season. He was basically a role player. Coming into later on down the line, he ended up having to adapt to a role of just being a sixth man. Then he had to adapt to a role of being the second option. Then he adapted to another role being a co-star along with one of the most dominant players ever. And then with the leave of the superstar that he was playing along with, he ended up becoming the number one guy and ended up being the face of a franchise. Nobody in NBA history has went through that many phases as a player and to end up becoming the face of their team. You got to look at it, you guys. Typically, when guys start like that, they don't get to become stars or a superstar in the NBA. What Kobe Bryant accomplished as a basketball player in his career has never been seen by any all-time great ever. Kobe Bryant Kobe Bryant started off, you guys, as a bona fide bench player, barely getting 80 minutes, didn't see any playing time. Once he got the opportunities, you saw the improvements in his game. He was using early in his career basically his slashing ability, his athleticism. Then he came into the play, started running the offense, running it through the big man, being more of a playmaker, ended up being more of a playmaker and a timely scorer. Then later on, once he became the co-star along with Shaq, you start seeing him develop into a guy that could take over games and take over when his team needed him. And then he ended up being the face of a franchise and start being the leader of a team and start running pick and rolls with Pau Gasol. Star ended up being more of a team player. So man, Kobe Bryant, you guys just look at his career that way. Don't look at it for the numbers.
All right, that's time right there. Let me go ahead and mute Ajani. Let me reset this clock. All right, it's back on you, Ajani. You heard what Herm had to say. That ends the first round. We going into our second round. Like I said, both guys are coming with some strong points. Make sure you guys are taking notes on this. Start preparing y'all votes. But it's back to GOAT James Kingdom. Your time starts now, man. Go ahead and cook.
All right, so as I stated, LeBron James came into an NBA that had one of the lowest paces and lowest scoring eras in NBA history, and he was drafted to the Cleveland Cavaliers, who only had 17 wins, and they had the 25th offense in the league in 2003. LeBron James helped them get to 35 wins and a top 15 offense in his rookie season, when he was playing with such players as Ilgauskas, Boozer, Darius Miles, and Ricky Davis. That era in the NBA, it was a clogged lane era. LeBron James was not known for being somebody who could actually shoot the ball well from the outside, but he actually developed his skill very well. Because in the next season, the Cleveland Cavaliers got rid of Ricky Davis, Darius Miles, and Boozer, and LeBron James ended up taking full reins of that team, and him and Ilgauskas and Drew Gooden were the key pieces to help them win games. During this span, while LeBron James was playing between 2004 and 2010, he averaged 28 points per game, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, shooting about 21 field goal attempts per game. The key thing is we're going to talk about is his mid-range and his post-up, because he only took about 11% of his shots at the post. He took about 35% of his shots from mid-range, and he was shooting about 40% from 10 feet, which is the post range, and he was shooting about 35% from mid-range. And as a rookie, he was struggling there. But if we take away his rookie season, LeBron James elevated his game and took the Cavaliers to another level. Because after they got rid of Boozer and Darius Miles, they went from 35 wins to 42 wins. And LeBron James was averaging 29 points per game, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, shooting 48% from the field, 33 from the three-point land. And during that span, he ended up having 2 MVPs. He was 4-time first team all NBA team, and on the all defensive team 2 times as a first team player. So he was just dominating the league as soon as he came into the league. He took them to the finals. We know that they got to the finals. He won a scoring title in 2008. He ended up scoring 30 points in his 3rd year.
All right, time right there. All right, man, Herm, you heard what he had to say, man. We about to close out the second round. It's going back to Herm. Herm, go ahead and cook. Your time starts now.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, this is not about the numbers and not about stats and stuff like that. It's about a player adapting. Yes, he just made improvements on this game, but when it comes to Kobe Bean Bryant, let's just get to the point. When it comes to overcoming adversity, think about the Colorado thing. He lost everything. Lost all his endorsements. A lot of people hated him for that situation, and he went through a lot of vitriol for that. So Kobe Bryant, in the midst of that, started a headline, that Mamba mentality, able to block everything out, able to create a mentality that through adversity that he could overcome it. Kobe Bryant adapted that mentality. You start seeing the best. Yes, a lot of people may not like the way he carried himself, may not like his aggressiveness, how he treated teammates, the whole nine. But Kobe Bryant, he adapted to those situations. He overcame those situations, those life changing moments in his career, and he ended up being successful and ended up becoming one of the best players in the era from the 2000 to 2010s, despite of the odds being stacked against him. When it comes to injuries, you seen him play separated his shoulder and end up playing left hand for the rest of the game and end up being highly successful in those moments. You seen Kobe Bryant play with broken fingers. You seen him playing with broken limbs in the finals, still overcome, twisting an ankle in the finals against the Indiana Pacers. And guess what? Later on in that series, once Shaq fouled out in the game, he rised up to the occasion, took over the game, and ended up winning the game. Yes, he had a mediocre series overall, but in the moment that they needed him the most, despite of him playing through an injury, throughout a bad ankle injury that he suffered earlier in that series, he ended up coming through when his team needed it the most. So when it comes to overcoming injuries, overcoming life changing situations, obstacles that got in the way for us, that Colorado incident, or issues with his wife, or even issues with a teammate, Kobe Bryant still persevered through those moments and overcame them.
All right, that's time right there. We're going into our last round. This is what we call the rebuttal round. This is where you really got to bring all your points home and really attack anything you might have heard. If you feel like you missed something, you better address it now. So it's on Ajani. He's gonna close it. He's gonna start it off in the last round, and we're gonna take it to Herm to close it out. You guys really start to think about how you're gonna vote on this right here. Start preparing your ideology on this, and people on the panel. Make sure you take your notes so you can give the people a good explanation on who you felt won. But we're gonna start this last round off. Ajani, it's on you. Go ahead and cook.
All right. Well, again, as I stated before, LeBron James has had that career, that first stint in Cleveland. But now we're going to go to where he had to adapt to playing in Miami with another ball-dominant player like Dwayne Wade. He had to take less shots, but he ended up developing a game that we've never seen in NBA history. While he was in Miami, we talked about his mid-range and his post-ups. He actually started posting up and doing more mid-range shots and developing his game off the ball a lot more in Miami, to the tune of almost 50% shooting in the post and over 42% shooting in mid-range. LeBron James literally jumped from taking 35% in mid-range to 42% while he was in Miami for those 4 seasons. So that shows you his development and adjusting to what he was doing in Miami. Not only that, those 4 seasons in Miami, he shot over 54% from the field and 37% from the three-point land. He had a season where he had a 60-40 season, which hasn't happened till Joker did it. So LeBron James completely developed his game around learning to play with another superstar like Dwayne Wade, and then he left there there and went to Cleveland and went with another ball dominant player in Kyrie Irving, and nothing changed. His shots were less than 19 shots per game while he was dealing with all of these superstars, but he was so efficient because he was able to develop his game to the point where he can get the right shots and have the right production. He took his team to the championship throughout this era. So between 2011 and 2018, LeBron gave us 26 points, 7.5 rebounds, 7.5 assists, shooting less than 19 field goals on 53% shooting from the field. He shot over 40% from mid-range. He was dominating the game in every aspect of it. He made all kind of all NBAs, all kind of surprises that people didn't understand, like the 2016 finals run. Then he went to LA and he completely changed his whole game to adapt to a big man, which was a dominant big man in AD. And still with that, he won an assist title. He developed his game. He started taking more three-pointers. He went from shooting 4 3-pointers per game early in his career to taking over 6 now. And he shoots well over 33% from three-point land. And he's dominant when we talk about adapting to every aspect of the game.
All right, that's time right there. All right, man. You guys heard what he had to say. We about to bring it to Herm to close it out. It's on you. Go ahead and cook, Herm.
Okay, I thought it was all about for us their evolution, how they evolved as a player, not bringing up numbers to try to highlight how they just made improvements to their game. When it comes to LeBron James, when you look at him adapting to a team dynamic, he really only adapted with the Miami Heat. If you ask his teammates, Jared Dudley, a teammate of the Lakers that was on that bench, saying LeBron James, he's the system. He runs 90% of the offense. It wasn't no him adjusting to anybody. His teammates adjusted to him. Outside of Miami Heat, it was all about LeBron James. He was the system in each of those team dynamics. 2 stints in Cleveland and that 1 stint with the Lakers. It wasn't him adapted. They adapted to him. Miami, he had to adapt because it was about the culture there. So he adapted there. But outside of that, it's really people adapting to him. Kobe Bryant had to adapt to various different roles. You guys got to understand, it's hard for an NBA player to start off as a bench player, barely getting 80 minutes. Then you come out the bench being the 6th man. You made the All-Star game coming off the damn bench. And then once you got the opportunity to be the second option, you adapted to that, being the second option, had to accept running the offense through the most dominant player in the game is Shaq at the time. And then you end up becoming a co-star because Shaq getting a little older, becoming out of shape. You dominated that. And then once he left, because of various different reasons, Kobe Bryant ended up being the face of a franchise. That story alone is unprecedented, and a lot of people that is historians of the game that love basketball need to appreciate the fact that a guy that come from the bottom like that, rose to the top, was able to rise to the top. Nobody in NBA history has done that, you guys. And I hate when people try to downplay that. So when it comes to adaptation, when it comes to evolving, that's called evolution, you guys. That's called adaptation, you guys.
Damn, that's time. All right, Herm closed it out. You guys heard what he had to say. I'm about to start the poll in the chat. I'm bringing the people up.
Okay, so you guys heard both party stances and arguments. So how a winner is determined on FYF Sports Debate, there is the chat line vote, and then there's also a panel vote, and then when that goes to a tie, there is a special guest vote. The results of all the votes was Ajani the Exposer won the chat line votes by over 60% of the votes. Herm won the panel vote 4-1, and the special guest voted Herm as the winner. In all, it was a great experience for GOAT James Kingdom to come on FYF Debate Sports to have a great conversation with a bunch of great guys. Congratulations to Herm for winning the debate. Shout out to Lamont for giving us the opportunity to have the debate. If you guys want to check out FYF Debate Sports, you can go ahead and subscribe to his channel, but go ahead and leave comments on what you guys think about the debate. Hit the like button. Don't be afraid to subscribe to the GOAT James Kingdom channel. Peace and blessings.